the show already. Sheesh.
Hey guys, happy Sunday afternoon. I hope you are all doing wonderfully. It's a little toasty down here in Texas. I don't know about where you guys are, but woof. Thank God for air conditioning. That's all I can say. Hey everyone in chat. Auntie M, thank you so much for holding the fort down. I appreciate you. Hey Krusty, hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is in here. Oh, we've got Andrea is here. Hello, hello. And Cynthia Brotheim was here. Good to see you. Welcome. It's Friend Psycho. Hey, how are ya? I did show Krusty. Maybe I got him switched. Ugh, eyeballs. Anyway. Ugh. Oh, what a day. Well, I was outside yesterday working in the yard pulling weeds. And I regret to inform you, I'm under attack. Been under attack. Somebody's trying to bring a fight to me that I don't want any part of. Don't appreciate it. I had these appear in my yard. 2 of them. I was terrified. I just got goosebumps thinking about it. It's horrible. I mean, look at this. Menacing. Just menacing. And this one with its tousled hair. It's like it's taunting me, gaslighting me. It's horrible. I have to call the police, make a police report. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do. I think I might know who it is, though. There's these 2 people that live 2 doors down, and they've got quite a great disguise, little terrorists. I think they're, their disguises are very alluring. They look very, very innocent, like they're like maybe 5, 6 years old. Not falling for it at all. Hey, K-Mat, Red Queen, how are you? Give them to puppy. Yes. Well, I don't know about the hair everywhere. Yep. My Little Ponies have arrived in my yard. You know what that means? I have to call the police. For sure. Hello there. How are you? Fletcher Boy, air conditioning, aged Kentucky bourbon, and a comfortable sofa. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A nice cold leather sofa would be nice. Maybe the tile floor. I don't know. It depends on how hot it gets. Oh, my goodness. I hope everyone's been doing okay. Look. Oh, hey, Venom. Everybody's sick, by the way. Venom is sick. Star is sick. Everybody's sick. We're all sick. I'm not sick. But I'm here. Totally here. Hey, Venom. I hope you're feeling better today. Wishful She-Devil says hello. I say hello to you. Hello indeed. Yeah, so that was terrifying yesterday. I had to, lock all the doors, make sure all the windows were locked, make sure all the cameras were working. Not sure what to do about this. I think I might have to shave them, put them outside again as a symbol. Like, go ahead, do your worst. Maybe I'll put them in some outfits. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. I've never been attacked like this. I don't like it when online drama goes real world like that. Can you imagine being threatened by My Little Pony? A bunch of idiots. Anyway, that's the excitement in my life. Yeah. It's I'm speechless. Anyway, you didn't see Venom. I've been attacked. Shots fired. It's in my yard. This was in my yard, Venom. And this one, there's 2 of them. 2. Look at it. See what you guys have done? Push this shit too far. It's gone too far. It's just too far. Can't do it. Exactly. They're jumbo. Yep. Somebody got to the neighbors. Somebody got to my neighbors. It's a conspiracy. Somebody call the Rico police. Hasbro. Somebody. Anybody. It's horrible, really. Horrible. Would it kill you to keep your My Little Ponies in your own yard? Would it kill you? Oh, and they sent the yellow one. Yeah, I know. And the unicorn. And the unicorn. Look at it. Look at it with its weird little scribbles in its ears. You see this? Somebody scribbled on its ears. Extra threatening. Extra threatening. Don't know what I'm going to do. Yep. It's time to take it to the streets, people. I cracked up. I'm going to have to give them back to the two little terrorists that live 2 doors down. They are adorable, though. They're so sweet. I can always hear them playing. One of them, her love language is screaming. First time I heard her do it, I went running down the street. My mom instincts kicked in gear. I thought somebody had, banged a head or fallen off a porch or something. Turns out, Mom wouldn't let her have a popsicle. See? Terrorists. Oh, yeah, treason. Definitely treason. This is treason. Do not send me My Little Ponies. Don't. Now, if you have Mrs. Potato Head stuff, you can send me that. Guess what I got? I got something. Hang on, where is she? Well, she's naked right now, but I did get something to make her an outfit. So be on the lookout. That's coming soon. Pink flamingo yard art is your choice. My Little Pony yard art is an attack. Exactly. I mean, that's not friendly. It's not friendly at all. Somebody call the FBI right now. Oh, well, at least there's little kids, Do you have it? Oh, I wish I could put it. I want the vintage pieces. There's some vintage pieces that I need for the potato head, because the new stuff is too meh. Came with a Karen haircut, which I was like, that's a choice. But no, I've got some. I even got some. I want to send some doll hairs for me to recoup my doll hair purchase. Yeah, got some doll hair. Just got to put some new doll hair on it. But there's some vintage bunny slippers for Mrs. Potato Head that I thought would be great. I was like, oh my gosh, those are amazing. Make sure the Mrs. Potato. Well, we'll have to work on that. I was going to do the onesie, the cowl onesie, but I didn't think about doing the granny panties. Maybe I'll have to do that. Might need a little extra cushion in the derriere, if you know what I mean. Oh, goodness. Well, hello there. How are you? Good to see you, Candy. I saw somebody else in here that I didn't say hello to, but I can't find it now. I missed it. Maybe a figment of my imagination. If I didn't say hello to you, I apologize. Yeah, so I said hi to Krusty. Yeah, war. Also, I'm going to have to share this. This is disturbing. This video is unacceptable. I'm afraid we have a mess on our hands, folks. We have a big mess on our hands. I don't know what we're going to do about it, but you should be apprised of the new goings-ons. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do. This is terrible. Maybe Jeremy might. Yes, maybe. Hang on, let's see. Share. Go to share screen. Oh, yeah. It's piffed. It's up to no good, folks. Up to no good.
Hey, how you doing?
He's discovered Jolene. Jolene as the elf on the shelf. Do I have a video of Jay getting? No, I would not be sharing that. I think we're in trouble. It looks like Piff is in love. He's in love. So I have a funny feeling this is not the last we're going to hear of this. We may have to start a fund for the wedding. I don't know. Fundraiser for the wedding. It's hard when they grow up. It's hard. Seems like just yesterday he was getting yelled at on streams. I don't know what to do. So, yeah, coming soon. And JoJo, a romance. Anyway, I guess I'll be okay. Piff. Anywho, well, hey, Venom, thanks for being a member for 3 months. Venom. What the hell? 3 months? It's horrible. Dragon's Gravy, hello there. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, marriage. Marriage is the penalty for shoplifting in some cultures. Allegedly. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, yeah. YouTube needs to stop rolling. Yes, they are. It's terrible when that happens. I mean, it's like, come on. People should be allowed to skip a month if they need to, or accidentally forget to change their credit card. Who knows? I mean, there's lots of reasons. Anyway, I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about, kind of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Venom says, I think it's the other way, French. Piff is trying to attract. Psst. Yeah, maybe. Oh, should we call her? Psst. I thought her name was JoJo. I don't know. Vague says, I need a tutorial graphic design. Can you fit me into your schedule? Yes, I can. Just let me know when. Oh, it should be over a year, says Venom. Yeah, it should be. Shoulda, woulda. Sure, whatever. Yes, you made it. Finally, we've been waiting for you. It's like you have a life or something. Okay, so I've got to go pull it up because I didn't bother to prepare, because apparently that's something you don't do. You're not allowed to prepare for a stream. You're supposed to just do it by the seat of your pants. Hopefully you don't shart your pants, but yes. Oh, you like, psst. Oh, psst. And interesting. I don't know. I guess it's kind of up to name her. I don't know. I thought it was JoJo. Anyway, let me go and look for what we're gonna talk about today, guys. What are we gonna talk about? Uh-oh, I lost it. All right. Go over to email. So this is a topic that I heard, or I was introduced to by the one and only, the beautiful, the amazing, Lethal Lauren, otherwise known as Court of Random Opinion. And it's an interesting case, so we're going to talk about it. Maybe. If I can open it. Sorry, guys. It's been a little weird since I had the pipe burst. I think maybe it's got a little mildew or something, and it's just making me feel like garbage. Utter garbage. Hopefully nobody else is going that. Yes, the flood case. Yes, so I just kind of want to spread the word on this case because it's kind of interesting. Watch out. Yes, we'll try to avoid that. We don't like that here. Yeah, not big on that. Oh, everybody seems to be voting for. Okay, all right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Hey, Calvin, how are you? Glad to see you here. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger. Okay, and share. All right. Okay, let me stop this from playing. Okay, sorry about that. Hope that wasn't too annoying. Okay, so let's just read it. How about that? How about we have a little story time? Grab a snack, get comfy, crank up that fan or AC. It's my hold music, Mama Bear Leah. Hold music. No, just trying to keep it from being too much dead air. It's a big thing. It's a thing. All right. So, an act of God. So, this is the summary on the James Scott case. 33 years ago, a levee broke along the Mississippi River in West Quincy, Missouri, and 14,000 acres of farmland went underwater. Nobody died. Bridges washed out. Barges floated over cornfields. A gas station exploded, and one man, a 23-year-old Burger King employee with a prior arson record and a habit of talking too much when he drank, went on the local news to describe what he'd seen. That decision cost him everything. Did you hear Tug is suing that Megan Fox? Oh yeah, she's horrible. She's just terrible. Yeah. Pitch in, you're welcome to pinch in here and I'll make sure that it gets there. James Scott has been in a Missouri prison for 33 years. He is the only person in American history ever convicted of intentionally causing a flood. His first parole hearing was July 22nd. July 22nd, 2026. He is 55 years old. That's wild to me. Okay, so here's the case. The Great Flood of 1993 was not a single event. It was a 200-day disaster that stretched across 9 states, saturated the Midwest from the previous fall's rains, and eventually caused more than $16 billion in damage. More than 1,000 levees failed that summer. Every single one of them was ruled an act of God, except this one. Prosecutors argued that James Scott moved sandbags from one section of the West Quincy levee to another in order to strand his wife in Missouri so he could drink and party in Illinois without her. That was the motive. The evidence was entirely circumstantial. No shovel was found, no dynamite, no eyewitnesses to any act of sabotage. The state's star witness was a 16-year-old neighbor, Joe Flack, under house arrest at the time, who claimed he'd heard Scott drunkenly brag about his plans at a summer party. The claims made headlines. After his testimony over 30 years ago, no one has interviewed or spoken to Joe Flack since. That's crazy to me. Yeah. He said that I think it was probably a joke. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of sharing information, or saying information that is like maybe corny at the time, or I think it's dry humor or what have you. If it's inappropriate, I'm probably saying it. Yeah. He has the power to create floods. I think it's been memed quite a bit too. So it's pretty wild. Hey, Mama Pam, how are you? Yes, the 1993 was bad. My grandparents' property is on the Missouri River. I remember it well. Yeah. So where was I? After his testimony over 30 years ago, no one has interviewed or spoken to Joe Flack since. The defense called 2 soil science experts from the University of Missouri system. The levee, they both said, was going to fail regardless of James Scott. Professor David Hammer identified 6 independent structural conditions, all present at the exact point of failure: a long, straight river channel, limestone bluff constriction, upstream wing dams, railroad bridge footings, a thin tree buffer, and the catastrophic bulldozing of the levee core just days before the break. He testified it was number 12 out of 13 in a crest over 90 days of submergence. All 6 conditions were scientifically proven to exacerbate the chance of the levee failure. Everyone was present at this particular place. Professor Charles Morris at the University of Missouri, Rolla, concurred. The Army Corps of Engineers reached the same conclusion in its own internal documents. The Corps classified the Fabius River Damage District breach as an overtop and seepage failure in August of 1993, 2 months before Scott was even arrested. Those documents never reached the jury. Wow. What are you guys talking about? Oh, that $40 is sure being passed around. I wonder when Shizzy Nut will get in on this. Oh, I'm sure everybody will be in on it. Oh, what's up with this page? Dear God Almighty. Okay, how am I supposed to read that? Let's see, organized pages. There we go. That should do it. All right. Norman Hare was the president of the Fabius River Drainage District. It's a weird thing to I live in the drainage district. Oh, read it carefully. Read it very carefully. Sharon Kovac said, okay, I'll do my best. The governing body that oversaw the West Quincy levee. He was also one of the largest landowners in the Missouri side of the river directly affected by the flood. He testified against Scott. What he did not disclose at either trial was that he carried no flood insurance. If the levee's failure was ruled an act of God, as the science supported and as the Corps' own documents suggested, Hare and the other river bottom landowners would have received nothing. Acts of God are not covered by standard homeowners policy for property on a floodplain. For that, owners needed to buy special flood insurance only offered by FEMA. But vandalism is covered by homeowners insurance. Because James Scott was convicted, the flood was reclassified as a man-made event. Hare collected on his homeowners insurance. The jury never knew any of this. It's just disgusting. Hey, Dan, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, more water stuff. I'm sure you don't want to hear about this. Sorry. Oh, hey, Darren, how are you? Good to see you. So that's kind of crappy. 8 days after Scott's second conviction in 1998, the Fabius River Drainage District, the very entity whose leadership had just put him away, joined a federal lawsuit against the Army Corps of Engineers. The lawsuit alleged that Corps' conduct dating back to the 1930s had created the seepage conditions that destroyed their land. They essentially argued in federal court the same theory the defense had argued at trial. That lawsuit, too, never reached the jury. Not good. Hey, Kelly Rager. Good to see you. Midwest River Justice. Adam Pitluck, the author of Damned to Eternity, the only account of James Scott's story, coined that term in 2022. Vice News documentary, Overlooked, which has now surpassed 5.7 million views on YouTube. It describes what happens when a small river town pours more than 1 million volunteer hours into saving a levee, watches it fail anyway, and needs someone to pay. James Scott, a known local bad boy with 2 prior arson convictions, was standing on the levee when it broke and made the catastrophic mistake of going on the evening news to talk about it. He was convicted in Kirksville, Missouri in 1994. That conviction was overturned in 1997 on grounds of prosecutorial misconduct. He was convicted again in 1998. Same judge, same life sentence. Sounds like a judge grudge. Yep. The justice system isn't necessarily just. That is correct. That is correct. His trial was broadcast on court TV. His sentencing judge told him, "I think there's a certain irony that you have spent your life in arson, and what I hope will be your final criminal act ends up with water. So maybe the water will put the fire in you out." There is no scientific evidence that James Scott broke that levee. There is a great deal of scientific evidence that it broke on its own. So where is he now, you ask? No, never should have been a life sentence. No. I mean, it sounds like to me, a bunch of people got together and figured out they could get some insurance money on top of the FEMA efforts, right? Well, I mean, town bad boy. Probably made a lot of enemies. James Scott is inmate number 1001364 at the Jefferson City Correctional Center in Missouri. He works as a foreman in the prison cabinet factory and volunteers in the prison hospice, tending to dying inmates the way his mother once tended to the dying on the outside. He has never stopped maintaining his innocence. Both his parents are gone. His brother Dan is gone. When he faces the parole board on July 22nd, this week, his first such hearing in 33 years, Adam Pitluck will be in that room with him as his lone representative. Professor David Hammer, the University of Missouri scientist who testified for the defense, has publicly stated his intention to pursue a pardon for Scott. The prosecution's own expert in the original 1993 investigation told the writer of this privately years later that he believed the levee failed naturally. He never said so publicly. He had a family to feed and was years from his pension. So why now? Adam has been reporting this story for nearly 30 years. He was a student journalist at the University of Missouri in 1997 when he first wrote about Scott's case. He visited him in prison dozens of times. For the 2007 book, Damned to Eternity, he narrated Overlooked in 2022. He has watched this man age from an interview room at the level 5 maximum security prison. Maximum security. Oh, geez. The Vice News documentary created an audience of more than 5 million people who already know this story and want to know what happens next. The Army Corps documents, their insurance revelation, the federal lawsuit filed 8 days after Scott's conviction, the sentencing judge's language on the record. All of it is documented and available. This is a story about what a community does when it cannot accept that nature is indifferent to human effort. It is a story about who profits when justice goes wrong. And it is a story about one man who moved 5 sandbags on a levee that was already failing, went on television to say what he'd seen, and he's been paying for it ever since. The clock is running. July 22nd is not far away. Wow. That's rough. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's too late for anybody to write into the parole board to say anything about it or say your feelings on it. And I'm not sure that it would make a whole lot of difference, but it makes me wish there was something we could do. So if anybody's in Missouri, feel free to put some pressure on if you feel like this is, not a just sentence for this man. Life in prison. I mean, we've seen so many cases where people get out so much sooner. I mean, we look at Sharilla, she has the potential to get out in 15 years and 2 people died. There's 0 deaths. property damage. I don't know. Same is happening with the wildfire insurance, Venom says. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, if you can find somebody to say that they saw somebody starting a fire, I guess you could do that. Auntie M, thank you so much for the 5 gifted Rosalind Duke memberships. If you happen to receive one of those memberships, please be sure to say thank you, because, you know, it's the right thing to do. And we love Auntie M.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Very much. Thank you very much.
And Just J Hip with the 1999 says, happy birthday or something. Hiya, chat and Roz. It's not my birthday. Not my birthday. It's Valhalla's birthday. But thanks for the 1999. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, this case is really upsetting to me. I think that even some of the, if I understood it correctly, that there was a expert witness who the judge deemed his testimony as hearsay. What? That can't be right. So unless I'm getting my cases confused, but I'm pretty sure that's what I remember being said. Hey, Robin, how are you? Good to see you. Definitely not my birthday. Yeah. It was Mr. Coop's birthday on Friday. Well, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. That's awesome. Dan Davis, member for 16 months. Hey, Dan. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking with it. I appreciate you. I hope everything's going well for you, Dan. Hope you're staying dry, out of harm's way this upcoming season. Yeah, you think it's all about the insurance, Danny. I agree. It does. Yes, it has. Has it been long? Yes, a long time. 16 months is a long time for me. Yeah, I think that that is pretty damning. And I think that if it wasn't presented to the jury, which, I mean, I understand there's, you have to motion to the court to share information or for stuff to be admitted into evidence. And I think that that's a huge oversight. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to go back and watch the hearings and see what was actually said. But even then we wouldn't know. They don't always tell us what was off the record or not allowed into the record, which you'd have to go and do the research on the docket. So I'm pretty sure if you wanted to see more about that, let me see if I can grab Lauren's coverage of it, because she went into a lot more detail. And you can go, if you're interested in learning more about this case, please go over to Lauren's channel and check it out. And if you're not a member, you know what to do. All the YouTube-y things. So, yeah, if you want to learn more, visit Lauren's channel. You'll love her. I do. So go check that out for sure. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover today is go over some stuff in the Tupac murder trial. Continue discussing that a little bit. So let me see, where did I just watch something earlier today? That's not what I watched. Oh, here it is. Okay. So let me hit pause on that and share screen. We'll remove this guy. We're done with that. Yeah, I think she's got a couple. She's got a stream, and then she did a premiere video. So would be interesting to go back over that and refresh my brain, because I think some of it I was watching in the middle of the night. And then Venom says, the thing I have to question is Army Corps of Engineers knew the dam or the levee was weak. It wouldn't hold. So when do we hold the government and or the state liable for the deaths that happened? Well, there weren't any deaths. That's the thing. Zero, well, in that particular one, 0 deaths. No one died. It was about $16 billion worth of damage. So it's all about the money. All about the money. Isn't that what they say? Follow the money. Follow the money, folks. Okay. So I need to stop that screen and share this one. Okay, this one popped up on my feed, and I thought it was interesting because it had the interviews that we heard had happened with other people on the street that night that Tupac was shot. And I wanted to see that. But there's some more information in there too. And I'll share the link on this one as well, because I'm not going to cover all of it because I really want to get over and read Keefe D's book. Who got paid? Find out who got paid. Well, they said it in here. There was some homeowners, but the one that testified against him was... Give me a moment. I got to find it. Norman Haerr, Haerr. I think the landowners, he was also one of the largest landowners on the Missouri side of the river directly affected by the flood. And he testified against Scott. He did not disclose at either trial that he carried no flood insurance. Shame. These people, I'm telling you, it's just disgusting.
Shame.
Hello, Harry. How are you? I saw something pop through here. French says it's easier to use a scapegoat to pay than digging into the state pocket. Yeah. Would be interesting. That qualified immunity and all that. Super great. Isn't it great? Isn't it grand? Can you see this? Is it on there? Oh, okay. I see it's reduced. Got it. Hang on. So let's go ahead and start this one, and then we'll head on over to the book. What is happening? Hang on a second. Well, it says there's volume. Are you not hearing it? I'm not hearing it.
Victory
now I
from
hear it.
Mike Tyson ensured an early start to the night for Shakur. However, things took a turn. One of the younger death row members present, Trayvon Lane, coincidentally spotted a rival gang member named Orlando Anderson in the MGM Grand.
That is
He informed
fantastic
Tupac
news,
and the rest of
Dan.
the death row
Absolutely
entourage.
fantastic news. I cannot believe it has taken this long. Oh, God. That's insane to me, but I'm glad it's happening. It's moving forward. Gosh. Yeah, prayers out that it goes smoothly from here on out. Oh, hit play.
Tupac immediately approached Anderson and struck him before the rest of death row jumped in. The fight, which was caught on CCTV, was broken up by the hotel security. After which, Shakur, Knight, and the rest of the death row entourage promptly exited the MGM Grand and returned to the Luxor Hotel and Suge Knight's house, respectively. None of Shakur's group was stopped or questioned by the security. They simply left the premises. Whilst Knight would later be imprisoned for his role in this altercation and it violating his parole, at the time, no report was filed by Las Vegas police. Despite the brawl in the MGM Grand, they continued with their plans to travel to Suge Knight's now closed.
Are you serious? $90,000? That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Club 662 on Flamingo Road, where they were scheduled for a charity concert. However, they would never make it.
Gangster rap star Tupac Shakur, 5-year-old rapper, was in the backseat of a black BMW.
He has multiple gunshot wounds to the chest.
Las Vegas police say shots were fired from a passing white Cadillac.
Shakur and Knight drove a 1996
So, I mean, these are tons of witnesses. Where were all these witnesses? Were they ever questioned on what they saw? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. You think so, Venom? Think so. See, this is another case, and this seems to happen a lot. We've seen this happen time and time again where, you know, cases get underway and all of a sudden conspiracy theories pop up. I'm not saying you shouldn't want to like research what you want to research, but it's an interesting way. Like, it always seems like there was P. Diddy's involved and Suge Knight was involved. Suge Knight would be kind of stupid to, I know they had the fight over money, contract. Tupac wanted out of the contract, or allegedly. But why would they be hanging out together if they were already in a conflict? And also, why would you try to get somebody in the car with you and then have them shot? I don't know. It's too weird to me. Too weird.
BMW 7 Series, leading a convoy of vehicles down Las Vegas Boulevard South, where they were intercepted by a white Cadillac.
Pretty far down the street when it happened. We didn't know if we heard gunshots, or we didn't really know exactly what we heard. We heard a lot of screaming, a lot of cars screeching. From this Cadillac, an assailant reached out the window and fired a semi-automatic firearm at the car. We ran up the street as cops were running past us, and by the time we got here, they were already taking, which now I found out was Tupac, into the helicopter away. He had been shot.
Did you see that in her hand?
14 rounds were...
Is it a camera? Let's see. You have to think of how LA was back then, and the cops specifically. All I will ask is, do you think the cops really wanted to solve the crime? Cops? No, absolutely not. No, I don't. I just think it's one of those things that we see happen a lot in cases, is the more people covering it, and then it seems like all these other side stories start to pop up. I mean, it happens a lot. Do I think P. Diddy isn't guilty of some shadiness? No, I think he's definitely guilty of some shadiness. Does it all tie back to him? I don't know. It's one man's word against another's, right? We'll see. I hope that more information comes out in the trial, though. I do. I really do. But thank you for asking. Thanks for popping in with the question. Did Should take a bullet that night? He was grazed, Dragon's Gravy. He was grazed by a bullet. You think Diddy did? Diddy did it. Diddy did it.
Fired at the car, fatally injuring Tupac Shakur. They were rushed to University Medical Center, where 6 days later, Shakur is pronounced dead.
Rapper Tupac Shakur has
Proceeded to commit homicide.
Don't get it twisted. This is not
Investigations are ongoing.
Let him up.
I, in fact, interviewed y'all for sure that night.
We were told not to bring our weapons.
Get back. This is not how real life is supposed to be.
So this is on, hang on a second, let me see what channel this is on. This is on Star Power Celebrity Documentaries and Biographies. Not a huge channel, 13,000 plus subscribers. Looks like it may be a conglomeration of other people's coverage too, but I'm not going to complain about that. Well, welcome, Angel the Aussie. Welcome to the Flockers. I'm pretty sure you'll get disappointed at one time or another, but I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. We just kind of hang out and cover stuff. So if you're looking for a nice soft landing to cover random stuff about court and the communities surrounding it, then you've come to the right place. Definitely. It's a very, very sad welcome, but so maybe you get two. There we go. That's better. Oh my goodness, Angel the Aussie gifted 10 Rosalind Duke memberships. Holy cow, thank you so much, Angela the Aussie. You're so sweet. That is amazing. If you happen to receive one of those gifted memberships, please be sure to say thank you. We appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Wow. So kind. I can't see who's receiving them on this end. So I'm just going to assume that everybody, hopefully some people that are here live got some. I hope. I do. Oh, goodness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get back to it. Let me put a link in here for this channel if you want to go watch the whole thing without me interrupting you. Might be helpful. Up to you. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I wanted to get through parts of it because it will eventually go over the whole Suge Knight's and potential involvement as well as P. Diddy's. I know. But you're sick and you can't come back. And I can't do it either because my throat. It's really embarrassing. So embarrassing. Maybe I speed it up a little bit.
Born June 16,
Probably getting a ding for that
1971
music.
in East
Great.
Harlem, New York.
Thanks a lot.
Lasan Parish Crooks was renamed just before his first birthday after Tupac Amaru, an 18th century South American revolutionary who was executed after leading an uprising against Spanish rule.
Oh, Dan, thank you so
Tupac,
much.
sweet,
Thanks for the 10. I appreciate you. I really do. And, you're always here. And I really do appreciate that. I can't state that enough. Really enjoy you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
You like me right now. You like me.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Dan. And let's get back started on this.
A fitting name for the child of Afeni Shakur and Billy Garland, who were both revolutionaries themselves, being active members of the Black Panther Party in New York. For Tupac, the message was clear from the start. Something had to change.
So when the Panthers hit, the government panicked, and they had a thing called a COINTELPRO, and they felt like the Panthers were detrimental to American society, so they raided every Panthers house, especially the ones they felt like could do the most damage as an orator. So my mother was 7 months pregnant. They put a match to the door and said, fire, fire. And it's like 5 a.m. So my mother opened the door and they just burst in, put a shotgun to her pregnant belly and put a gun to her head and said, don't move. This is you under arrest. All of my roots to the struggle are real deep.
In America, Black people are treated very much as the Vietnamese people or any other colonized people because we're used.
See, Kelly says, when mobsters and the Blue Line Gang were warring, there are human casualties, and the law enforcement officers are not really concerned if it is ever solved. Yeah. Crystal says, Tupac was so talented. His music and acting, I can only imagine what he would have went on to do. I agree. I really liked him. I mean, I think that the whole gangster rap in the battle music scene was really exaggerated. And, maybe it's hype, maybe it's marketing. I don't know. But I feel like there's a certain group of people that will believe that everybody's going to be empowered to do bad things by the music that they listen to. You could say the same thing about the video games, right? I mean, we've seen certain people in certain communities think that the way to really get people to watch is to say really awful, nasty things about other people. I only do that like every once in a while. Oh, goodness. Hey, member for 9 months, Marcus K. Thank you for sticking around so long. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. It's wonderful, wonderful Sunday afternoon. So thank you for stopping by and reminding us that you've been here for, oh my gosh, you're at full term. It's amazing. Full term. Wow.
We're brutalized. The police in our community occupy our area, our community, as a foreign troop occupies territory. And the police are there not to, in our community, not to promote our welfare or for our security and our safety, but they're there to contain us, to brutalize us and murder us.
Afeni was actually on trial when she was pregnant with Tupac as part of the Panther 21 criminal case. In New York, 2 police stations and an education office were the targets of planned synchronized bombings and rifle attacks. A total of 21 Black Panthers were detained. The trial ultimately came to an end with all 21 defendants acquitted of all charges. Just a month after Afeni was set free, Tupac Shakur was born.
He's so adorable.
In the early days, Tupac had a rocky relationship with his mother. Her commitment to the Panthers left little time for her to be a mother. She was constantly delivering speeches, touring campuses, and attending demonstrations. It always seemed like she cared more about the people than her people, he claimed. From a child, he observed the brutal reality of existence for so many people, and his music would go on to reflect this.
So you were right in the middle of the storm.
I'm still in the storm. I'm still in the storm. As a matter of fact, my mother was in a book. There's a book about my mother called Look For Me in the Whirlwind. I like to think that's my motto.
They would eventually end up leaving New York behind for life in Baltimore, Maryland, when Afeni lost her job. After 2 years there, Tupac found a place at Baltimore School of the Arts, where he was able to pursue his childhood dream of acting. He appeared in a Shakespeare play, and even did ballet dancing. It was
Did ballet dancing? Did? Okay.
It was also here that he was exposed to an eclectic range of music. He cited artists like U2, Sinead O'Connor, and Kate Bush as some of his favorites.
Was this always kind of an ambition of yours? Did you have the show business bug as a young?
I mean, I caught it then, but at the time, it just seemed like a fun thing to do because I was 13. But I caught the bug when I got on stage and all those people.
I'm always so envious of the people that have like a little sparkle in their eye. He definitely had that little sparkle.
Clapping. So that's when I got it. But really, I just enjoy expressing myself. Anytime I can express myself, I can let some of the pain go from a childhood like mine. So that's why I enjoy acting.
In 1988, Afeni sent Tupac to Marin City in California, just north of San Francisco. She organized for a fellow Panther to look after Tupac and his sister Setua while she stayed in Baltimore to save for the means to get herself to California. Afeni would eventually join her children in Marin City, but she unfortunately brought tragedy with her.
You're not going to be able to sell any more drugs over in this neighborhood. You're not going to be able to sell any more drugs in this neighborhood.
This has reached epidemic proportions.
It is a crack epidemic, which police say is causing an increase in murder and other violent crime. An epidemic with no end in sight.
I didn't know Lionel Richie was a protester. It's interesting.
Afeni had begun using crack in Baltimore, and the move to California only exacerbated it further. She had succumbed to crack addiction.
Ugh,
the situation with his mother got so dire that Tupac would eventually leave home to live with friends. He reportedly began selling crack as a way to afford food, but it didn't last long, nor did it come at the cost of his education.
Dealers beware.
Look at those cop
101
cars.
is now ready for action.
Seems like forever ago. Looks like we're watching, what was that, Hill Street Blues? French says Tupac was supposed to marry Mimi Smith, as both families were part of the founding of the Black Panthers. I didn't know that. Did not know that.
Complete with 4 crack-sniffing dogs aimed at breaking up the small kitchen labs where crack is made.
In fact, his grades never slipped. He continued to flourish instead. In the spring of 1989,
Jada Pinkett. Gotcha.
He was attending poetry lessons in Oakland Park from Lila Steinberg, who he formed a close friendship with. Tupac's love of Shakespeare had given him the markings of a fine storyteller and performer, and he had been
okay, this music, you're
obsessively
killing
writing
me. You're killing
He
me.
convinced Steinberg, who had no industry experience, to become his manager. She was
Okay, may have to move forward on this because Crackbot brought to you by Ollie North and President Reagan. That's right. Crack for guns, crack for guns. Absolutely. Fast forward there.
to change the conversation and bring hip-hop back down to earth. In an interview with Chuck Phillips, he says, "Everything in life is not all beautiful.
You don't
To me,
hear it?
A
Oh, I
perfect
can
album
hear it.
talks about the hard stuff and the fun and caring stuff." Word of his success reached Afeni in 1991, which helped push her to break free of her drug addiction, which she did before moving back to New York, where the two would later reconcile.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Can't do this. Come on.
Motivation. The song, which depicts the story of someone blasting and dropping a police officer, was condemned by Vice President Dan Quayle. Quayle stated, "There is absolutely no reason for a record like this to be published. It has no place in our society."
Dan Quayle. Wasn't he the one who couldn't spell broccoli or something?
Tupacalypse Now's release began the whirlwind of controversy and trouble for the artist. From 1992 to 1994, he was involved in numerous incidents involving the police, including a firearm of his being used in the accidental murder of a 6-year-old and him shooting 2 off-duty police officers. He didn't go to jail, however, until 1994, when he served a 15-day sentence for assaulting film director Alan Hughes and bragged about it on MTV.
I beat up the directors, the ministers aside. Let me tell the whole world.
All right, tell them how you did with that.
Beat, chump, punk, slump, you know.
Hey, look, you'll have a chance to come here and rebuttal.
No, they won't. They better come now. Check this out. They fired me, but did it in a roundabout punk snitch way. So I caught them on the streets and beat they behind. You know what I'm saying?
The assault came after Hughes fired Tupac from the set of Menace to Society. He was facing a much more serious charge in 1995 when he was on trial for sexual assault.
Potato.
Now, back in New York, a woman alleged that Tupac, along with others, had sexually assaulted her in Tupac's suite in the New York Parker Meridian Hotel in November 1993.
Hi, Tupac. How you doing?
What did I miss?
Can you tell me how you're doing today?
Did I miss something?
I just had to listen to the prosecution's closing argument, and it was just so far from the truth that it really just has me drained at the end of the day. But I'm leaving it in the hands of the jury. I'm learning a lot about people's innermost fears in this trial because it's not even about
from what I remember, there were 3 different incidents where he was injured with aerators, handheld aerators. Aerators? Yeah, hole punchers. Exactly. Yeah, something like that. I think there were 3 separate incidents. It was potato is what he spelled wrong. Potato. Thank you. I thought it was a vegetable. Yes, I'm that old.
No more. It's just about loud rap music, tattoo having thugs. It's not even about me no more. It's about, some nightmare that these people having.
She's talking about thug life and all that,
he's definitely guilty. Anybody with thug life tattooed on their stomach is guilty. What type of reasoning is that? You know what I'm saying? We got different backgrounds. We come from 2 different places. Just because I look different than her doesn't mean that I'm a sodomizer or a raper. They've said it I can't understand why it's this close. They talking about there's no evidence.
Earmuffs, chat.
Sodomized, even though you
earmuffs
all over paper. And
Quack,
every time they take
beep,
a quote
beep,
out of this courtroom, they take a quote from out of her mouth, which is, the stuff to put me in jail. It's nothing that's been true. I just want to print the facts so everybody can sort it out. My life is ruined because nobody has a chance to get the facts.
And the fact is that there was no semen found.
No semen found, no forcible entry, no entry into the
I am
anal,
so sorry, chat.
None of that.
No fingerprints on the gun.
Fingerprints on the guns, you know what I'm saying? The only time ever there was an act of sodomy, she admitted she did it to me. I should be, putting charges on this girl who sodomized me on the floor of a dance club. Why am I in court? You know what I'm saying? Get my life ripped apart. But I'm gonna go through it.
What is happening?
I have faith in the American system, but we have faith in the American system. These juries and everybody else has to, play the same role and to keep an open mind. I'm already convicted. My whole life has been turned around. I lost every job. I lost everything, every opportunity. I can't buy cars, can't get rent, can't get none of that.
I need a
but I'm
redaction
still
beep.
I'm still coming to court, still smiling, still signing autographs. But soon I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the world. America eats its babies. No matter what y'all think about me, I'm still your child. You know what I'm saying?
Stop eating the babies, chat. Stop it.
This is all about my image. This has nothing to do with me. This is all about my image. It's like MTV, all the papers, they building me up. Now they destroying me on the same image that they perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling records. This is what I do for a living. I'm selling records. Don't get it twisted. This is not my real life. This is not how my real life is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be really having all these villains in my life.
He stood trial for the crime.
Me too.
But the day before the
Hide
verdict
your
would be
children.
announced, Tupac was attacked.
Shakur was apparently attacked by robbers as he and 3 other men arrived at a New York City recording studio early this morning.
Yeah, me
a
too,
man
baby.
identified as Shakur's manager was also wounded. Shakur and his road manager are currently on trial on sex abuse charges.
He was called to Quad Recordings in Manhattan on the evening of the 30th of November when he was ambushed in the lobby. He was shot 5 times, twice in the head, twice in the groin, and most notably, a final shot pierced his hand and struck an artery in his thigh. He survived the attack, but he began to suspect that his East Coast companions were not as trustworthy as he once thought. Tupac claimed that Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, was behind his attack. He also implicated Christopher Biggie Smalls Wallace, Andre Harrell, and Tupac's close friend and associate, Randy Stretch Walker. Biggie Smalls claims that they did not know Tupac would be arriving at the studio, and when they heard he had arrived, they sent Little C's downstairs to collect him. He instead returned with the news that Tupac had been shot, and when the rest of Biggie's entourage went to investigate, he was on a stretcher, being taken to Bellevue Hospital, reportedly giving the finger to those around him.
Oh, yay, Liz.
Tupac's perspective, he
Glad
said
that it's not
nobody
too
looked him
hot
in the
to
eye,
do that. That's
and
awesome.
that the people that were upstairs must have known that he was going to be ambushed and robbed. And so he basically accused all the people in that room of being part of the conspiracy.
He come out, look around, stick up the middle finger.
It's always a
put him in
waste.
the ambulance. And we were just curious, like, what was that supposed to mean? Like, was that middle finger to us?
Despite his physical condition, his verdict was still read, and whilst he was acquitted of both his gun and sodomy charges, he was convicted of sexual assault and sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison.
I'm not guilty. People should look me in my eyes. They should look me in my eyes. And anybody that thinks I've committed that rape should go get Brenda's Got a Baby and keep your head up and listen to him thoroughly. I have no...
Go give her a baby.
None at all. It's too hard out here. You know what I'm saying? If my people don't stand up for me, who is? I understand these white folks looking at me like that because they don't
You haven't
know
heard anything
they
about
hear keep your
Biggie
head up.
in a
That ain't no
while?
fluke. You know, keep your head up. Ain't no goddamn...
Well, he's
I
gone.
didn't do that to be smiling in my face to say, oh, he's cool. I did that from my heart. So that they do try to put a rape charge on me, my sisters can say he ain't out there. Now, if my sisters can't say that, you won't hear another keep your head up out my mouth.
During his prison time, he released his aptly named third studio album, Me Against the World. It reached #1 on the Billboard 200 chart and is considered by many to be his greatest body of
just
work.
completely went black on me.
The lead single,
Can't see
Dear
anything.
Mama, helped distance Tupac from the ceilings of gangster rap and continued his
boy.
ongoing legacy of social commentary through poetry-style lyrics. He would
It's
only
not
end
good.
up serving 11 months of his sentence, however, as in October, Suge Knight struck a deal with Tupac and paid his hefty $1.4 million bail, soon after signing him to his West Coast record label, Death Row Records. Tupac made the move back to the West Coast, and with his freedom came his greatest commercial success, All Eyes on Me.
Okay, can't play that. But my StreamYard has gone completely black. I cannot see anything. Okay, well, that's fun. How weird. It's no bueno. Would you guys mind waiting if I refresh it? I mean, I'll be right back. I'm just going to pop out and pop back in. You mind? I hope it doesn't end. I don't know what else to do because I can't really control much over here. It's crazy. If it's hot, then I just water it at night. I can't water my computer. No, I'm kidding. I know what you're talking about. Do what you need to do, dear. Yes. I don't know what to do. Okay, let me go ahead and see if this refreshing works. So you may lose me, but I'll be right back. Are you still here? You're still here. It's awesome. Everything's back. Yay! It worked. Okay, excellent. Whew. Okay, so I've got to skip this part. I'm not sure I'll play a whole bunch more, but I really wanted to show you like how many people were on the street. How we had that one interview with that one chick, and she looked like she had a camcorder in her hand. I think that I'd like to see if she got anything. Yes, Roz has tech issues, has been called. Do you want to keep watching this, or do you want me to start reading from the book? Oh, people are voting for psst. Okay. All right, Dragon's Gravy. Maybe I'm getting all my comments are refreshing too. I don't know. That's weird. Last 3 days, huh? They must be doing some updates. It's causing a glitch. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Okay, we can. They didn't linger. Oh, you can't see it? Oh gosh, I am so sorry. I'm sure you guys, she's just staring into the abyss. Oh Lord. Yeah, I often need a co-host, just to keep me from looking stupid. Occasionally, allegedly. Let's see, I'll go back to, where am I going? Can you see it now? Can you see it now? All right, here we go.
And elevated his success even further. It was just a glimpse of what he might achieve as a rap superstar.
Not that
when he
lovely.
turned the corner, there was this guy
I'm gonna
standing there.
just
Little
stare
did I know who
away.
he was. He ran up to him and he swung. Then the guy swung back, and then Pac weaved, and then Pac swung again. And at this time, there was like 3 or 4 blows thrown. Tupac had this medallion on that he had recently purchased, and it broke. When it broke, he went down to pick it up. When he went down to pick it up, I grabbed him. When I grabbed him, I threw him against the wall. So I had him out of the fight. At this time, everyone else is running up.
Hello, Denise. How are you?
The guy is Orlando Anderson now that we know who he is.
He's just watching
Orlando
me
Anderson,
watching.
the victim of the
Here,
MGM
watch
Grand
me
fight,
watch things.
was a member of the Southside Compton Crips. It's unknown as to why he was alone in the MGM Grand Hotel area on the evening of September 6, 1996.
Yeah, why was
Anderson
he there?
was significantly beaten by the 5 members, but did not sustain any serious injury. He can be seen on CCTV
So was he
afterwards
seriously
speaking
injured or
with
not?
both LVMPD and security officers. He was standing and seemed uninjured. The security offered him first aid and the opportunity to file a formal complaint. He declined both. When Anderson was questioned regarding his visit to Las Vegas, his answers were inconsistent, stating once that he was in town to see the Tyson versus Selden fight, and on another occasion that he was simply in Las Vegas to gamble with his girlfriend. He had not purchased tickets for the Tyson versus Selden fight, nor was he in possession of the estimated amount of legal tender required to purchase a scalper ticket at late notice. When
Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't know that he wasn't also at the fight. So he was just there, lingering. Let's give a little bit more insight into it than I had previously realized.
Questioned by the LA Times, Anderson's family seemed to support his claim of being in Las Vegas just for innocent fun. They also claim he had no affiliation with the Southside Compton Crips. Las Vegas police considered Anderson a suspect and interviewed him once, very briefly, where he was unable to provide a sufficient alibi for 11:15 p.m. PDT, September 7, 1996, the time of the shooting. However, the general consensus from Detective B. Baker was that no one they spoke to following the shooting was willing to cooperate with the police, outside of civilian witness testimonies from the Las Vegas Strip at the time of the shooting. Anderson was arrested 1 month later as part of an unrelated investigation. Las Vegas police eventually discounted Anderson as a suspect to the death of Tupac, citing the short time between the hotel assault and the shooting.
Short time. But we know he was there. He was in the car. So that's the only reason. Gotcha.
Yesterday, the Reverend Jesse Jackson arrived and said a prayer at Shakur's bedside. He remains in the intensive care unit at University Medical Center in Las Vegas.
Roughly 3 hours elapsed between the altercation involving Anderson and the shooting on Las Vegas Boulevard South. A subsequent investigation places the following people at the scene of the crime. The black BMW, containing both Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. To their left, Trayvon. Behind, Frank Alexander, along with the Outlaws. Despite the elusive nature of the LVMPD's investigation, They would later produce the following estimation of the passengers in the white Cadillac from which the shots were fired, including Terrence T. Brown, DeAndre Drake.
Liz, the Coors Boar and whole milk are two different people. They just act alike. They act alike. I don't think they look alike. Yes, they are two different people.
Smith, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, and notably Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. There are a number of conspiracies stemming from these names. Having also been partial victim of the shooting, Suge Knight was the ideal witness to identify the suspect who fatally shot Tupac. After the shooting took place, Knight was able to continue to drive the BMW a mile to Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon Avenue, where they were pulled over by Bike Patrol Officer Chris Carroll, who alerted paramedics.
Pulled over by a bike
Suge
cop?
Out of the vehicle on the ground, and as I was approaching him, the blood was shooting up out of his head. So I'm yelling, let him up, let him up. He's with us. He was part of the entourage. And when they let him up, Tupac is still sitting in the passenger seat. The door is still closed. So Suge says, I can do it. It's my car. I'll open it. The door was actually stuck. So Suge got over there, opened the door, and we pulled Pac out of the car. When we pulled him out of the car, we lied him down on the side of the car, and I'm kneeling down at this time and I'm talking to him like, Pac, man, Pac. And he's like, he's trying to breathe. And then he goes, I can't breathe.
Police and paramedics took the pair to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. The severity of Tupac's injuries meant he was taken to the intensive care unit, whereas Suge Knight was admitted to the general hospital. Knight sustained a head injury from bullet fragmentation inside the vehicle, but was not directly shot by the assailant. Knight was treated at University Medical Center and stayed there overnight. However, when Las Vegas detectives arrived to speak with him, they were denied access by his legal representation. When they returned the next day to interview him, he was gone, having been discharged that same morning. Despite Knight owning the property and living in Las Vegas at the time, the Las Vegas police made no attempt to visit Knight to interview him regarding the events of the shooting. They instead continued via his attorney, attempting to organize a time through them, which took days. Las Vegas police claim they were able to speak with Suge Knight 3 days after the shooting, but other sources claim it may have been up to 7 days. When they did finally meet, it's reported they only interviewed Knight for some 30 to 45 minutes, which seems unusual considering both his proximity and relation to the crime. Also in close proximity to the shooting was Yafu Gaddafi Fula, member of death row and rap group Outlaws. He was riding in the vehicle directly behind Tupac's BMW, along with Tupac's personal bodyguard Frank Alexander and fellow Outlaws member Edi Amin. Gaddafi allegedly claimed to be able to identify the assailant. However, he initially refused to cooperate with Las Vegas police.
I, in fact, interviewed Yafu Fula that night. Again, he wasn't real happy about sitting there talking to me.
It's a choice.
After Tupac's death, Gaddafi left Las Vegas and traveled to Los Angeles, Atlanta, and then finally settling in New Jersey with relatives. Because the victims of the shooting were not locals and instead residents of the Compton, Los Angeles area, the investigation expanded to include the cooperation of the Compton Police Department. Compton detectives assembled a file of gang member mugshots and delivered them to the Las Vegas Police Department for potential identification. Anderson was among those pictured. Las Vegas detectives then attempted to make contact with Gaddafi's legal representation so that he could be shown the mugshots. However, according to Sergeant Kevin Manning, who headed the investigation, his calls were never returned. No attempt was made by the police to locate Gaddafi, who was subsequently murdered on November 10, 1996, before the police were able to follow up with him. In a report by the Times in early 1997, both Mean and Alexander denied ever being asked by Las Vegas police to view said photographs, despite having been in a similar position to Gaddafi at the time of the shooting. Mean claimed to have seen all 4 men in the vehicle. Alexander even stated he had seen the...
I really get sick of these stories. Can we get a story where, you know, law enforcement does what they're supposed to do? That'd be nice. Can we get one of those?
face of the suspect who fired the gun. However, later that year, when Alexander was involved in an interview conducted by the Las Vegas police, He was shown a series of 8 photo lineups, but failed to identify anyone from them. He also went back on his previous statement, saying he had only seen the occupants of the car in more of a profile. Ultimately, the pair's accounts of the events that took place
You don't have
disputed
to.
heavily.
Sometimes
and
it's
Las
not really
Vegas
about
police
so much
could
the
not draw
person as
any
it is the
conclusions from
story,
them.
right? Up to you.
It's worth noting that in the wake of the shooting, Frank Alexander met with Suge Knight multiple times before either of them spoke to the LVPD detectives or police. Once on September 8th, where Alexander received a call from Death Row asking him to meet with Suge. They allegedly spoke about the events of the shooting in private.
I was in my hotel room. I got a phone call from Reggie telling me to come over to Suge's house. Suge, eventually called me into his office at his house. He goes, "Frank, I want to talk to you." I go into the office with him, and we're talking, and he goes, "Frank, what happened?" That was our conversation, and we just basically went over everything that had happened, how it happened, and what I had seen, and what he knew, and the events. We reacted the events with one another in private.
Then again on the 12th. Then finally on the 13th, when the news of Tupac's decline had become known. Alexander was allegedly questioned about the security issues in retrospect. Alexander described Suge Knight as being extremely angry, the polar opposite of their meeting the previous evening.
Suge is asking me all kinds of questions about what happened, security, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, right? Suge gets the phone, he had the phone, he answers the phone, and he stands up, and he throws the phone, bang, right across the table, right? He turns around and he says, "Can nobody fucking save him now?" And he's in tears, right? And he goes, "He just died." And I just start crying, right? As I'm crying, and I'm just like, Suge walks away. Everybody at the table just gets up and everybody walks away. Reggie
So
looks at me
many
and goes,
rabbit
"Go
holes.
He goes, "Go pack your shit, get out of
So
Vegas."
many rabbit
I'm
holes.
thinking, why?
It's a cold, cold day in the rap hip-hop music world. In case you haven't heard, it's been all over the media, all over the news, all over the radio. Rapper Tupac Shakur has passed away.
I think he was a great person. I learned a lot about him by reading about him and everything, and he did a lot of good stuff for his community.
Let's go for another one, IKCEP. A lot of our young brothers out there would start to get along a little bit better and stop turning that video
My fucking lady's gonna die here, and you're telling me about some fucking numbers? If I knew this shit, I'd have wrote it down.
In 1996, Tupac was shooting the film Gridlocked alongside co-star Tim Roth. Frank Alexander and Kevin Hackey were both working security on set. A week or so before the film wrapped, Alexander received a call from Yasmin Fula, Yaki Gaddafi's mother. She explained that Tupac had called an audit of Death Row Records, claiming he was owed millions of dollars in royalties. He had fulfilled his obligation to Death Row and allegedly wanted out. According to Tracy Robinson, he was done, and Tupac had no intentions of renewing any sort of agreement. Suge Knight was notified of Tupac's plans on September.
To me, that's just it's too tight. That's too tight of a conflict for it to end like that. I mean, you already have the records. You already have the songs in your library. Just because he doesn't renew the contract doesn't mean you can't negotiate ownership or at least some sort of, participation in the proceeds. So it just, to me, that one doesn't jive that Suge Knight did it. I mean, you can have conflict with somebody and remain friends. I know you don't see it very often on the interwebs, but you can. You can. Okay, and then it goes further and it starts to dip into the whole Diddy connection, which, like I said, I can drop it again in the links. So if you want to go and finish this one, you can. I thought it was pretty good. That was pretty good. It kind of put everything together and concise and kind of brought it up to date. So as far as, showing the whole picture, I think it's a fairly decent documentary or video. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Uh-oh, did that go? Okay, there it goes. Excellent. Gangsta Paradise. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, so I'm going to remove that. Let me see if I can find a picture of his book. Got it on, sorry. I've got it on Kindle, so I'll have to read it off Kindle, but let me see. Dwayne Davis. Davis. We should stare at an empty screen. Where's this book? That's not it. QVD. There we go. So let's save that. Bing. And let me share it with you. So this is his book. Very humbly titled Compton Street Legend, Notorious Keefe D Street Level Accounts of Tupac and Biggie Murders, Death Row Origins, Suge Knight, Puffy Combs, and Crooked Cops. Eloquent. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, saw what he did there. I did. Maybe now less high kicked. Like less high kicks would be appreciated. Yeah. Hey, Linda. Good to see you. Yes, it is. The trial is next month, Candy. And I'm going to try to cover that as much as possible. There is potential for it to overlap with Rosalind's PC is so old that it works on candles. That's correct, French Psycho. Yes. Please, if you want to donate to the Candle Fund, feel free to do so. Is that what reopened the case? Well, reopened it? We can get into this. Danny, we can get into this. So I want to say that they had pretty much left him alone. He got a proffer agreement, which means he exchanged his freedom for details. And as long as, he didn't do something else stupid, he would remain a free man. And then he goes out and he writes a book where he tells everybody he did it. So the proffer agreement is null and void, which means basically, so the proffer agreement, like anything he says, it's just a way, it's kind of a get out of jail free card. Like Wendy Adelson has. So Wendy shared information. So anything shared in that cannot be used against them in court. But then he went and did this like a ding dong, like an absolute idiot. It's true. All right. So let me see if I can open this up for you guys. I don't think I can do Kindle on my computer. I don't think I can. Let's see. No, I don't want the Epstein files. Thank you. Where is... Okay, there we go. The main event. Okay. So it says, oops, sorry, let me just check in on you guys for a second. Well, I wonder if he'll make it to court. I have to believe that he would. They've been dragging this out for years. I can remember when the news came out that they arrested him, and I was just like, are you serious? This is happening? Wow. Until now, I thought this was the case that happened in Georgia. It lasted about 18 months and a not guilty verdict. No, it has to be in Las Vegas because that's where the crime was committed. And also that's where Keefe D is. So it's state of Nevada versus Dwayne Keefe D Davis. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It says a few weeks after the Lakewood Mall incident, I was with a few of the homies at the best car wash in the area getting our cars washed and talked about our planned excursion to Vegas to see one of the greatest boxers of all time, Iron Mike Tyson. I contacted one of my partners who I had done some jail time with from the Rollin' 60s Crips that used to scalp tickets, and we placed an order for some tickets with him. So did they have tickets or they didn't have tickets? Confused. The car wash owner, who was also a Crip, came over when he heard us talking about going to the fight and said Suge and them say they bought 100 tickets for the Tyson fight. That was good intel for us to have, but we weren't tripping. It wasn't going to get in the way of our plans to go down and enjoy the fight. As a Crip set, Southsiders had been going to very big fights in Vegas since 1988. That was before rappers started going to Vegas to see the fights. In the 90s, I would go to Las Vegas every Sunday during the NFL season and bet on the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Cowboys. Green Bay Packers. So going to Las Vegas was routine for me. We knew that Suge would have his hit squad of dirty police with him. They were some cold MFers, spelled out, but we were some street dudes, so we weren't worried about that BS, also spelled out. The way we look at it, they were recording industry dudes, but we were real street N-words. September 4th through the 7th, 1996 was supposed to be another weekend excursion like the many we had taken before. Little did I know that this trip to Vegas, unlike the ones before, would change my life. We left Compton for Vegas on Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock. Everybody met up at my house and we split from there. Before we hit the road, we had to keep with our established tradition of going to Greenblatt's Deli and fine wine on Sunset to get some cold bottles of champagne, just the way I like them. Irrelevant. Even though Zip was from New York, he liked to roll with us when we went to Vegas for events, so he arranged to meet us at Greenblatt's. We purchased 2 cases of Taittinger Rosé at $150 per bottle. That Taittinger Rosé worked like Viagra for me. Ew. TMI. I don't want to know that. Yes, to be on the safe side, I suggest not to write a book if you're involved in a crime. Probably. Yep. Oh, God. I did not need to know that. We also picked up a few bottles of Dom Perignon Rosé. Once we stocked up on our cold bottles, we were ready to hit the road. My wife, Pat, and I were driving a rented beige 1993 Buick Regal. God, I remember those. Riding in a green... When's the last time you saw a Buick, by the way? It's been a while. Sorry, got distracted. Riding in a green van was my brother, Little Dog, Batman, and Trey. How am I ever going to keep up with this story? Zip and the female rapper Foxy Brown were in a black 500 series Benz. We rolled up a few fat joints with some California orange weed, jumped into the 10 freeway, hit the 15, and jammed all the way out there. Frankie Beverly, Silky Smooth, Before I Let Go, got us started, and we played hit after hit for the trip's soundtrack. Is this necessary? Is it necessary? The Dramatics, Luther Vandross, Shaka Khan, the OJs, Anita Baker, the Isley Brothers. I wasn't a big fan of gangster rap since I was living that gangsta life. They were rapping about what I did every day. Instead, we cruised to Vegas the whole trip, listening to nonstop classic R&B. I think we got that picture. Thank you. We arrived at the newly opened Caesar Palace Resort and Casino around 5 p.m. It was a huge place with all the amenities you could think of and a massive casino floor, which was perfect since all of us loved to gamble. We laid our heads in the Caesar's Palace, but for partying, kicking back, and meeting up, we would always get some rooms at the Carriage House. Carriage House was about a block off the strip, but it was cool because they had suites with the kitchenettes where you could cook your food. The night we arrived at Caesar's Palace, we laid back, popped a few bottles, went down to the casino, and started gambling big, betting 1,000 a roll, having a ball doing what players do. I gave my wife 2,500, and she went out with a few of the ladies who had traveled down with us. When it was time to be with us, they were with us, but they didn't. But they did. Oh, they did their separate girl stuff: shopping, gambling, and sitting by the pool. You cheap bastard! Just throwing away $1,000 a roll. Anyway, you miss boat cars. Yeah, I miss boat cars. Let's see. Where was I? Lost it. Okay. On Friday, my nephew, Baby Lane, and some of my little homies came down and kicked it with us. Baby Lane was about 6'3" with an athletic build. I feel like I need like theme music going on here. He was slim but strong. A one-punch knockout master. He was a good dude with a big heart. He'd give the shirt off his back to anybody in need, and he loved life. Kind of sounds familiar. What time of year was he? It was September 7th, Beg. September 7th. He died on the 13th. Now I'm lost. In all, we were down there about 18 deep. We rented 3 rooms on the same floor. That's a lot of people in a room. Okay. At Caesar's Palace, and had a ball. For the major events, not only would we be out there gambling and partying hard, but we would also do like Missy Elliott's song and get super duper fly. Okay. Hey, itty bitty, welcome. Yeah. Once we gambled a bit, I headed over to the Versace store in the shopping wonder of the world, also known as the Forum Shops. Sorry, getting choked up over here. The Foreign Shops at Caesar's Palace. I purchased a $3,000 blue suit with white pinstripes, some blue Crocs from the Gucci store. I'm at a loss for words here. Crocs? Really? Did they have Crocs in 1990 in the 90s? I don't recall that. Anyway, from the Gucci store, and a white shirt with a blue and gold tie. I went to Cousin's Fine Tailoring and had them tailor my suit up for me. We went to Neiman Marcus and picked up some of that expensive ass Indian cologne that has a different smell every time you put it on. What's that? Yeah, I'm confused too. I'm very confused. When my nephew, Baby Lane, came down with his homies, he saw former MLB baseball player Barry Bonds with a badass brown Versace tuxedo. So Baby Lane, being the baller that he was, went out and bought a black version of the same $6,000 Versace tux he saw Barry Bonds wearing. Okay. Some people have a hard time understanding how we were living. When they hear the word Crip, they imagine somebody with the pants sagging beneath their butt. But what they fail to realize is once a gangbanger becomes a gangster, you pull your pants up. Okay. There's a difference between gangbangers and gangsters. We were gangsters. One year, we went to Ice-T's New Year's Eve party, and we were so fresh, smelling so good. We had our bottles in our hands. Ice-T was like, "Those are some real players right there." That night, I was wearing a $2,500 cashmere overcoat over my suit. Fight night finally arrived. I sat on the second row, not far from one of the celebrities that were in the house. Since I had purchased the fight tickets from my scalper buddy, our seats were spread out all around the arena. We had decided before we went in that when the fight was over, we would all meet at the cafe inside the MGM. The MGM Grand, but okay. Once the fight started, it didn't take long for Iron Mike to put Bruce Seldon's lights out. Mike put him down on the canvas for the first time with about 1 minute 40 seconds left in the first round. Then less than 20 seconds later, the fight was over. TKO. After the match, we headed to the prearranged meeting place where we waited for about 15 minutes. Little by little, everybody started showing up except my nephew. Bum, bum, bum. There goes my StreamYard again. What is happening? Oh, there we go. All right. Then some 118 East Coast Crips came and told us that they saw some death row N-words jump on my nephew down by the casino. We came to find out later that the same dude from the Lakewood Mall that got his chain snatched was walking with Tupac when they saw Baby Lane in the lobby of the MGM. We rushed up out of the cafe and went to find Baby Lane. We saw him inside the MGM minutes after they had jumped him. By the time we got there, Suge, Pac, and their crew had already left. Baby Lane's shoulder was a little messed up, but other than that, he was all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. When I asked him what happened, he said, "Them death row N-words rushed me. One of them N-words from the Lakewood Mall was running with the boy that started that shit." A few East Coast Crips came over and asked if we wanted them to go with us. "Nah, we're good. We handled our shit. But good looking out." We appreciated the offer, but this was a matter we were determined to handle ourselves. You don't believe any of this? But I do like learning about it. My husband and I both love our Crocs. Yeah. Are they Gucci? Gucci Crocs? Why bother? Oh, goodness. Blah, 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 blah. We couldn't let no record company studio gangsters do us like that. They had lost their effing rapping ass minds. On top of that, Puffy had already talked to me about helping him out with the problem he was having with them N-words. That was a double whammy. So, pulling Puffy in, huh? Then you add on top of that the fact that we helped Suge with the money to get his record business going. N-word, you gonna bite the hand that fed you? And the N-word, Suge still hadn't paid my partner Boss Man his money back and got too big for his britches and stopped taking Boss Man's calls. Strike 3, homies, you're out. F that big homie. We know where them N-words gonna be. They're gonna be at Club 662. Their rage was evident, ignited when they learned that my nephew Baby Lane had gotten jumped. "How y'all know?" I calmly asked. Okay, I'm gonna get it together. I calmly asked. "Hey, Buck, good to see you. Happy Sunday." How y'all know?" I calmly asked. "Them N-words been on the radio out there for weeks talking about death row after fight party at Club 662. That N-word Pac supposed to be there too." So, Club 662 was a Las Vegas nightclub owned by Death Row CEO Suge Knight. The intelligence was from reliable sources. Intelligence. That's a stretch. Reliable sources, as some of the younger homies from our set had been stationed in Vegas selling dope. A satellite operation of sorts. Hey, Buck, thanks for the 2. I'm glad you self-centered, censored. Yes. Yes, I'm going to self-censor. Thanks, though. Thanks. I'm trying to keep it together. I swear I'm going to. Thanks for the 2. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, intelligent. The intelligence was from reliable sources. Some of the younger homies from our set had been stationed in Vegas selling dope, a satellite operation of sorts. Homies, that's where we're going then. Club 662, as we headed to our vehicles. Hang on. Oh, boy. This is epic writing. Epic. We hadn't gone down to Vegas thinking about Marion, Suge Knight, or Tupac Shakur. We were out there to do what we had been doing in Vegas for years. Eat, drink, and be merry. When conversations would come up about $1 million bounty on the heads of Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur, that was business. After Tupac, Suge, and them death row N-words jumped on my nephew, Baby Lane, the shit became personal. While we were waiting for the valet to bring out our cars, Zip seized the opportunity and called me over to his Benz. As I walked up to driver's side window, I saw that the rapper Foxy Brown was in the car with him. So he asked her to step out of the car and motioned for me to jump in. Zip had a hidden compartment that he opened up, reached in, and pulled out a black 40 Glock out of, turned to me and said, "It's time to get the money." Zip handed me the 17-shot pistol, which I promptly put down the back waist of my pants. Okay. I hopped out of the car, held the door open for Foxy Brown to get back in, closed the door, and they pulled off. A few moments later, our cars came out from the valet, so I shouted, "Get in the car! You came in, let's roll!" Like they wouldn't know where to go. Okay. We left immediately from the MGM and headed directly to Club 662. I was still appropriately dressed in my Ray Luca suit. Wait, didn't he just get a Gucci? I'm so confused. I thought was it a Versace? He got a Versace. Why is he now wearing a Ray Luca? Since there was about to be a real crime story, we arrived at Club 662 and pulled into the back parking lot where the talent and the VIPs entered. In front of the club, there was a long line of excited, drunk people waiting to enter the club. I planned to confront Suge. "Hey, N-word, why the F y'all jump on my nephew?" Oh, stewardess. The ironic thing is, I had just seen Suge in Vegas. Surely you can't be serious. Oh, God. I had just seen Suge in Vegas the night before the fight. They were rolling in their Rolls Royces. We greeted each other and everything. "What's up, big dog? What's up?" We were both major players in the same game. Suge had the music industry, and I had the streets. And we both had the same boss. If he had beef with somebody, we did. He could have said something to me then. Instead, Suge and his boys committed the ultimate disrespect. When they kicked and beat down my nephew, Baby Lane, in a video seen around the world. Had you seen it then? Had you seen it? Okay. In case the diplomatic approach didn't work, we had 3 vehicles, 3 to 4 people in each. That's it? That's not very gangster. Ready to burn their asses up. In case the diplomatic approach didn't work, we had 3 vehicles, 3 to 4 people in each, ready to burn their asses up. My crew was do or die. Capitalized, by the way. All my young homies had already been shot at least once. So that turned them into some stone cold killers. They had the mentality of, it's either them or me, and it ain't gonna be me. With solemn faces, we waited in complete silence in the back parking lot of Club 662 for more than an hour. Inside our vehicles, nobody took a drink. There was no weed, no music, not a peep. We were as serious as a heart attack. The only thing audible was N-words breathing and tense, throbbing heartbeats. There was no need for words. We knew what we were there for. After waiting for that hour and a half, which felt more like 4 hours, I decided for us to get out of there. I called the homies on their phones. I thought you were sitting there. They're taking too damn long. Let's get effed up. Move out. One by one, the drivers started their engines and slowly crept out of the back parking lot. Lucky for them, they never showed, because it would have been like Al Capone's Valentine's Day massacre if they had. One thing about our crew, when it was time to handle business, we handled it with the best of them. And when it was time to have fun, we did that too. It's not that we were over what had happened to Baby Lane. It's just we couldn't control when they were going to show up, and waiting so long was stopping us from doing what we had gone to Vegas to do. You don't need to see it. It's just a cover of the book, Faves. But glad to see you here, hanging out with the grandkids. Yeah, it's story time, Faves. Story time. Went to Vegas to do in the first place. Have a good time. Our next destination was the Carriage House, a Las Vegas hotel. You just told us this. You just told this is where you could cook. Our next destination was the Carriage House, a Las Vegas hotel where we would rent a few rooms as a kickback spot. On the way to the Carriage House, we stopped by the liquor barn to buy some bottles of... What happened? You already... Oh, goodness. We're just going through all the champagne. Bottles of Dom Perignon Rosé, and Cristal. Spelled Cristal wrong. I'm not gonna criticize it. Yeah, Vegas to gamble? Huh? What? As we were driving to the liquor barn, it became evident that the guys in the van with me were worried that Suge would get some of his police hitmen to come back and try to kill us if we went after them. The police do hits for that N-word, one of them said. I remember thinking to myself, y'all shouldn't have jumped your punk asses in here if you're scared. Y'all know what we came here to do. C-Ray, who was one of my top salesmen, later became the first one to start snitching on N-words. He was in the van with me along with his cousin Trey and BMF's Big Meech out of Detroit. How can anybody keep up with these names? As we were loading up to leave the liquor barn, I took advantage of the chance to get away from them scary N-words in the van. I think you meant scared, but oh, yes, that's where you go to detox. Yes, that's where you go. Vegas is the place. The scary N-words in the van and jumped in the front passenger seat of the Cadillac because I knew the N-words in the caddy wasn't with that bullshit. I pulled out the Glock that Zip had given me and tossed it in the back seat. That's not safe. That is improper. Bubble Up did the driving, and Baby Lane and Freaky were riding in the back. After our pit stop at the liquor barn, we continued toward the carriage house. As we were driving, the two vehicles that were with us got caught at a traffic light, but we kept rolling. Did you run a red light? A few blocks down, we were sitting at the light, and who the fuck did we see? The Death Row Caravan hit the corner with Tupac hanging out the window of a black luxury BMW, waving to his fans. People on the streets were screaming, "Tupac! Tupac! We love you, Tupac!" There, them MFers go right there. What? If Pac had not been hanging out the window, we would have never seen them. Bust a U! Bust a U! Bubble Up busted a U-turn and hit the gutter lane on their asses. They had a caravan of at least 18 to 20 luxury cars. Well, I think we saw differently. It was 18 to 20. But, you know, who's counting? As they sat in traffic in the middle lane, we slowly rolled past each other, looking into each car until we pulled up to the front vehicle and found who we were looking for. Bum, bum, bum. Like two rams locking horns, Suge and I looked at each other dead in the eye, and our eyes locked.
Okay.
The terrified expression on Suge's face read, "Damn, them N-words." No words were exchanged. The time for talking had passed. The shit was about to go down. The next few seconds all happened so quickly, no words were exchanged. You just said that. The time for talking had passed. The shit was on. Tupac made an erratic move and began to reach down beneath his seat. It was the first and only time in my life that I could relate to the police command to keep your hands where I can see them. Okay. Instead, Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. The first shot skinned Suge in his head. I thought the MFer was dead. I heard stories that Suge supposedly used Tupac as a shield. When the bullets started flying, but that's some bullshit. Suge was already wounded. He was the first one that got touched. As the rounds continued flying, I ducked down so that I wouldn't get hit. Sir? When the shooting stopped, we boned out. That's a choice. And a white Chrysler Sebring full of young ladies was following us. Their window quickly got shot out, so they stopped. Okay. The interesting thing to me was with all of them rough-ass N-words they were supposed to have with them, none of them did a damn thing and tried to come after us. There were a lot of shots let off in both directions. I don't know why the Vegas police didn't check Tupac's hands. for powder burns to see if he was shooting because the car we were in was shot the F up. A couple of people in our car had fragments and glass in their hair. Sir, glass in your hair. Oh, damn. Thanks for the 10 for when I get demonetized. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Whew, thanks for the 10 on EM. Oh, did I miss one? Uh-oh. Yes, self-censor. Yes, well, I haven't been so good at it today, censoring myself, have I? Oh, well. Certain that the death row crew and the police would be looking for the car that we were in, we abandoned the car and got a... I think Lynette wrote this paragraph. Okay. Looking for the car that we were in, we abandoned the car and got away from it as quickly as we could in an ironic twist of fate, some shit you'd seen on the Twilight Zone. We scurried to get to the other side of Las Vegas Boulevard. When we got to the middle divider, the light changed to red, and we had to wait on the median. Oh, no. The strip was in an uproar as police cars and ambulances raced to the scene, and somehow Suge, instead of driving straight to Memorial Hospital, he did some studio gangsta shit and made a U-turn back onto the Las Vegas Strip. As we were standing on the median waiting to cross Las Vegas Boulevard, two ambulances passed right by us with their sirens blaring. The ambulances, I have a hard time saying that, were in the first lane right in front of us where we were standing. The first ambulance passed by with Tupac in it, and the medics working frantically to provide medical attention, and a second one, not too far behind, had Suge in it. There we were, looking right into the ambulances, transporting Tupac and Suge to Memorial Hospital. Everyone knows the rest of the story, as 6 days later, Tupac died as a result of his injuries. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like he implicated himself in that a little bit. Ambulances. Yeah. Sorry about that. So you'll shoot pew-pews, but obey traffic lights. That's right, Oniam. That is right. We obey all of the laws. Would you like to continue? The ambulances. Exactly. The moral of the story: real gangsters are nothing to F with. It's a ruthless way of life, one that I've lived for the majority of my life. Some gangster rappers have glamorized and glorified the life like it's cool and something to strive for, and they have a lot of people's minds twisted. The truth of the matter is gangbanging and acting like a thug ain't no joke. These street wars taking place in urban communities around the country are as real as the wars that U.S. troops are engaging in. In some cases, the streets' body counts are even higher. Killing your own people. It may sound cold-hearted, but from a street perspective, the killings of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls would be considered nothing more than casualties of war. As a result, the hip-hop world has lost two of its most talented and revered, it was not spelled properly, but I'm assuming that's what it is, musical artists and icons. At this point in my life, I can say that I have a deep sense of remorse for what happened to Tupac. Pac was a talented artist with tons of potential. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the rest of those N-words didn't have any business putting their hands on Baby Lane. Them jumping on my nephew gave us the green light to want to do something to their ass. To their ass. Being the left Being left with that one, Paves. Pac chose the wrong game to play and the wrong N-words to play with. Tupac was a guppy that got swallowed up by some ferocious sharks. He shouldn't have ever got involved in that bullshit of trying to be a thug. I hate that Tupac's family, friends, and fans, especially his mother, Afeni Shakur, had to go through the pain of losing her son. It's terrible losing people like that. I know that pain too well. Southside Crips earned some stripes on the collar from street N-words due to the Tupac shooting, but it generated too much attention, put us under a microscope by law enforcement that would not cease, and eventually brought us down. Do we continue? Because there's more. Oh yeah, there's more. And I'm sure he had talent, but not much brains. Yeah, you know, I think the shit talking was part of the marketing plan. Self-defense, of course, says came out Red Queen. I can sing a song to this. You can? To this? I guess we could try to make it into a song, but I figure I might get a copyright strike on that one. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the support of the show. We'll be demonetized for sure. We sure will. Demonetized. Happens all the time. Can't imagine why. Oh, goodness. The aftermath is the next chapter. If you want to continue, I can continue. It looks like Tug is going live in about 30 minutes, which means 45 minutes. We can continue if you want. It wasn't law enforcement that brought it down. He's the one that couldn't shut the F up. Correct. Correct. Oh, Coolio's Gangsta Paradise is a good song. I really do like that one. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm listening as long as you want to read. Okay, Liz, let's go. When we made it back to the hotel, we popped our bottles and partied like it was any other night. So, of course, someone suggested that we pour out a little for Tupac, which we did, and smoked our weed like we had planned to do in the first place. Well, that's really funny, because if you remember the last time we covered this, he said he didn't pour any out. He wasn't wasting any liquor on him. Inconsistencies. Instead of being with us, C-Ray was still out partying at the MGM Hotel Club. Someone from another Crip set pulled his coat. N-word, you better get the F up out of here. You ain't heard what your homeboys just did? C-Ray left the club and came over to the carriage house once he found out something went down. What happened, y'all? N-word, we don't know nothing, I was thinking. We know you're going to snitch, N-word. And I was right. That N-word eventually did snitch. After partying most of the night in Vegas, we left the next morning. We rolled by and scooped up the Cadillac from where we had ditched it the night before. The night of the shooting, the gun was placed on one of the tires of the Cadillac. But when we went back for the car the next morning, the gun wasn't there. We jumped on the freeway and headed back home to Compton. I rode back with my wife and nephew in the same rental car. One of the homies drove the caddy, and we were following on their tail the whole time. At one point, when we got around the rest area in Barstow, a white San Bernardino sheriff car followed us for about 10 miles before turning off. During the drive home, I laced Baby Lane with the game. Don't tell nobody what happened, not even your mama. Don't say a word. Sure enough, when we made it home, the streets were spooked. Inquiring minds wanted to know what happened in Vegas. Nothing was our only reply. Once we got back to Compton, the caddy sat for a couple of days. Then we took it to the paint shop to be painted and cleaned out before returning it to the rental car place. By then, it was too late for any forensics to be accurate and reliable. The Sunday we returned was one busy day. When we got home, we watched some of the news reports. My uncle, who was a stone-hard gangster, came over early that morning with the newspaper and some coffee. I was in my back house, and he stormed in. "Nephew, this N-word done told on 2 N-words at one time." "Who?" "Man, you read this shit Suge said in this article?" He read part of the article out loud. "Keefy D's nephew," my uncle concluded. "If that ain't dry snitching, I don't know what is. He's trying to take down 2 MFers at the same time." With that first newspaper article, Suge was essentially telling on Baby Lane and me. Suge could have said my little brother's nephew, but instead he used my name, Keefy D's nephew. I've seen Suge a few times once I got out of the pen. Yes, it stays in Vegas. Exactly. Thank you. I was waiting for that, but thank God he didn't go there. The first time was when the Lakers were playing the New Jersey Nets. My older brother had bought some tickets, and the halfway house I was staying at permitted me to go with my brother to the game. That's gangsta. That's gangsta. While I was there getting hot dogs, I saw Suge with 3 or 4 white guys and 3 brothers. When the mother saw me, he looked like he was scared straight. He came over to where I was. "What's up, homie? I'm glad you stayed strong for me, man. All them N-words from my neighborhood." I wanted to say, "You the first one, bitch." Oh dear. I started to hate watching MTV during that time because it seemed like every hour, on the hour, MTV would report rapper Tupac Shakur is in critical condition. Reports indicated that Crips out of California, Keefy D's nephew. I was like, God damn, why they keep using my name? That fucked me up. Oh, I'm sorry. That effed me up. Yeah. Ooh. Just rewind. Oh, that effed me up when some of the early reports were using my name. That information had to come from Suge, since he was the only one who could have known. Really? That same day, my new Colombian plug, crocheted plug. JC's little brother called. He was usually really laid back, but this time there was urgency in his voice. "Meet me at the Chevron over at El Segundo and Sepulveda? Sorry. When I pulled into the gas station, he walked up to my car faster than usual with a scared look on his face and asked, "Man, was that y'all?" "Yeah." "Come on, homie. You're supposed to be smarter than that. I have a multi-million-dollar business. You're tripping." His words of disappointment were piercing. Mainly because... I'm sorry. The transitions are just too much. Words of disappointment were piercing. Mainly because he was right. I was tripping. Oh, no.
You can't dance fast enough for me. Do you understand?
I did the same dumbass shit I said Suge shouldn't have been doing. I had risen out of gangbanging and elevated to the level where I was running a multi-million-dollar business. Suge did his with the record company. I did mine illegally in the streets. Them streets, man. Sue Pulvada? Okay, Sepulveda. Thank you. I'll never remember that, but thank you. Suge did. Okay, I got that one. Little JC continued. "I'm out of here. I'm not going down with you all. Y'all are going to jail." He was a smart dude, and the next day he was on an airplane on his way back to Colombia. At the time little JC's left, I was bawling. Getting 300 kilos a month. Oh, ballin'. Not balling. Gotcha. Ballin'. I was ballin'. getting 300 kilos a month from him at $10K a piece, selling them locally for $13 to $14K, and selling them out of town for $25. Lil JC's leaving the country put me out of the dope game for a while. It's horrible. About 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, the action picked up when one of the leaders of the gangbangers section of our hood got shot 7 times in the stomach in front of the neighborhood liquor store. Somebody from the other side did the shooting. That first Monday afternoon, shooting raised the alarm in our hood. I threw a meeting after it happened. Where'd you throw it? And told the youngsters to handle the young N-words from the rival neighborhood, and we, the older dudes, would deal with the big MFers. After that, a brutal month-long gang war broke out between our two factions. Them young N-words from our set went crazy on the Bloods. Their side lost about 6 people, and we lost 1. And we had a couple of homies get wounded. Suge's hands weren't clean. He participated in beating the S out of my nephew. So we went after Suge after the war broke out, too. Suge spared his own life by not staying at his spot in the valley. Once the war broke out, he left and stayed out of town for a while. I know because we were on his bumper. He was unaware that we were staking out his house. We had a little hideaway spot out in Studio City, and we were going out there every night looking for them N-words. We knew where he lived because we had people who worked with the phone company, the DMV, and females who worked at the courthouse. So it was easy for us to get an address. Southside had homies who were Samoan, Mexican, and white. We were not just blacks. My next door neighbors were 2 white boys, gangsters, that would blow the noodles out of your head. We had one of the white boys dress up in a UPS uniform knocking at the door of Suge's studio. We gave another white boy a buzz cut and dressed him up so that he looked like a cop. If Suge had answered that door, his ass was ours. By 4 p.m., the soldiers were on the street, strapped up and ready to begin our search and destroy mission. Destroy mission? Oh, begin our search and destroy mission. Sorry about that. By 4:10, Reggie White Sr., who was the captain of our 4 o'clock shift for the Compton Police Department, was at my house. I guess he finished his orientation with his officers real quick, and that N-word must have had jumped in his squad car and came straight over to my house. His son, Reggie White Jr., was the head of Death Row's security. And with the battle that was going down in the streets of Compton, Reggie Sr. was concerned about his son's safety. He came flying down the street in a Compton police car, ran the stop sign, pulled up on the wrong side of the road, and hit the brakes. He jumped out of his car and left the door wide open when he started screaming, "Let me tell you something, Keefy D. You MFers kill my son, Reggie Jr. It's going to be hell to pay." I just looked at him like he was stupid. Can't.
Okay.
What the F is you talking about? N-word, please. He yelled back. I'm just telling you, MFer. When he jumped back in his police car and sped off. Once he left, I had to let a few of the homies know we might have to crack some police heads. They will kill for that N-word Suge. The proof was in the pudding. When Captain Wright came over with that threat, he made it clear whose side he was on. Now both Reggie White Sr. and his son Reggie Jr. have been charged with federal drug trafficking and money laundering charges. Them N-words have been dirty for years, and it finally caught up with them. Because you can't find a stolen cop shop with those big numbers on top. About an hour later, some of Compton's dirtiest, Sergeant Reynolds and his crew came and raided our houses. During the 92 riots, there was a Crip set that broke into an Army surplus store and took all of their guns. Is there any other crimes you would like to admit to or snitch on, sir? Okay. They sold me 2 crates of guns for $3,600 per crate. There were 90 guns in each crate. Macs, Glocks, AKs. We put in a lot of work with those guns. My homies used them mother effers up wearing people's asses out. During the raids, they took a large amount of our guns, attempting to leave us butt naked. Buck naked, but whatever. I sent word with Zip to tell Puffy to send us some cash so we could get us some more guns, but that never happened. Luckily, because of my Colombian connection, we had a new crate of firearms the next effing day. The streets were hot. Third day after getting back from Vegas, a few of us met. Is it just the third day? My God, I thought this felt like a month later. It's a real tell-all. Yeah, we're telling everybody. Yeah, this guy's freaking serious. Seriously stupid. OMG. Exactly. I agree. Oh, the third day after getting back from Vegas, a few of us met up with Zip at LA Hot Wings near 3rd Street on La Brea. While we were meeting with Zip's, Biggie's wife, Faith, called him. Then, a little after that, Puffy called Zip and asked, "Was that us?" I didn't say an M-effing thing. A few weeks later, C-Ray's next door neighbor got killed. The dude wasn't from Southside, but he grew up in our neighborhood. He worked as a Compton Unified School police officer and also volunteered with the Compton Police. The guy was on his way to work and to drop his daughter off at school. He put his daughter in the car, and when he walked around to get in the vehicle, a red car came around the corner and they shot him 35 times with an AK. That hit was meant for C-Ray, but they got the wrong person. After that failed hit, C-Ray decided to start working with the police and became a confidential informant. One day, I was over in the Jordan Downs projects chilling, and C-Ray came over and said, "Keefy D, should got hit out on you. Me and Little Dog." I could hear the nervousness in his voice. "Me, you, and Little Dog. Yeah, for $100 grand. N-word, how you know that?" "I'm just telling you, dog." C-Ray pissed me off with what he said, so I told him, "Wherever you got that shit from, you tell that N-word that I'll hit Suge for free, MFer." Wouldn't cost a dime to hit his punk ass. Those N-words knew I wasn't any joke. I'm from the streets for real. Them N-words were with that record company shit. We were crippin' for real. We were not faking. Meanwhile, I was wondering, where did C-Ray get that information? Maybe he does want to stay in there. The FBI came and raided our houses 2 days later. And threw everybody in jail. Again, I just missed getting caught. Really? It's one lucky MFer. The person who saved my ass this time was a man that lived in the neighborhood and collected old cooking grease from restaurants. Interesting hobby, but whatever. He happened to be on his way home from work at 3 a.m. and saw loads of FBI and police setting up at the Winchell's Donut Shop in our neighborhood. He came and knocked on my door. "Keefy D, I don't know what the F is going on, but there's a whole lot of police, buses, and news people at the Winchell's Donut Shop." You bullshitted. I could tell from his facial expression that he was serious. Hold on. I ran and grabbed my shit, put on some clothes, and jumped in the truck with him. He took me to the metro rail station, and I caught the metro rail to Watts and disappeared into the projects. No, I got distracted. Yeah, there we are. I watched the shit on the news in the morning. They came and raided my house, but I got out of there. Oh, sorry. Dog raid. But I got up out of there about 5 minutes before they arrived. Lucky for me, the grease man saw their asses. Otherwise, I would have been caught up in that raid. Around 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Not lucky. Lying. Yeah, or could be. Yeah, true. Good point. Lucky for me, the grease man saw their asses. Otherwise, I would have been caught up in that raid. Around 7 in the morning, about 1 week after Vegas, Boss Man's auntie came and knocked on my door. My nephew wants you to be at my house at 7 o'clock tonight so he can talk to you. I went around there and talked to Boss Man, and he told me, man, your boy C-Ray wants me to get in contact with Big CEO. He wants you to get in contact with Big CEO, I repeated. What I heard to make sure I had it right. Yeah. What that N-word doing? He is trying to say he ain't in that shit. He's trying to sell y'all out. I don't know what's wrong with that N-word. C-Ray was one of the guys in the van in Vegas. In fact, he was the main one in Vegas in the van, acting like a bitch. Those scary MFers. That pissed me the F off. I guess when his neighbor got killed, that shook his boots. A few days later, my nephew and I went to IHOP for breakfast over on Alameda and Compton Boulevard. We were eating breakfast, and the mayor of Compton, Omar Bradley, and Councilman Green came in there mad dogging us, acting like they were tough. I said, man, you tripping, dude. What the F is wrong with you? You better leave us the F alone. They were on Suge's team also. Then I made a crucial mistake. I threw a big meeting for our neighborhood at a park in Cerritos. All the homies showed up. Did all the talking, and the feds knew everything that I said to them because there were some informants among us. I should have never done that. That's where they got the idea that I had a leadership role within the set, which caused the feds to start following me around everywhere I went. Agent Holliday was the head of the major crime unit for the FBI Central District of LA. Holliday and his crew was on my ass from that day on. As time passed, they raided everything and everybody. They raided Southsiders, Suge's Death Row, Mob Piru people. Right before Suge was about to go to court for violating his parole for his part in the casino beating of my nephew, I received a call from Baby Lane, who was up in our lawyer's Edie Fowles' office. Unc, come up here. Bring 2 guns. Edie Fall is from Gambia and made a lot of money off our family from dealing with my nephew and me. Bring 2 guns? Yeah, come up here as soon as you can. The Reaper and I rushed up to Edie Fowles' office. When we arrived and entered the office, we saw Compton Police Captain Reggie Wright Sr. and Compton Police Sergeant Reynolds sitting in the waiting area with Suge Knight. That was one incredibly uncomfortable and awkward couple of minutes while we all occupied the same space. That was the reason Baby Lane told me to bring 2 guns, just in case. So I'd call the police a cult or the rappers. I don't know. It's crazy. The Grease Man story could be sort of true. Mitchell's donuts are awfully greasy. Yeah, could be. They heard you say dog, so they thought you wanted them. Good dogs. Oh, good dogs. Good dogs. Oh, goodness. The three of them were there to meet with Baby Lane before Suge's probation violation hearing in an attempt to keep Suge from going to jail. They offered to pay Baby Lane $60K for him to appear in court and say that Suge didn't kick him in the casino. Baby Lane went to court and said that shit too and got paid the $60K. But the judge in the case ruled that Suge was an active participant in the attack. Anyway, once Baby Lane received that payment, the war between our two factions chilled. Functions? Factions, I think he means, but okay. Well, yeah, look at him. The thing that effed me up was to see both a captain and sergeant from the Compton Police Department in there with Suge. That just confirmed what we already knew. Suge had crooked-ass police on his payroll. We weren't competing against regular street N-words like us. Suge's hitmen were the police. Those N-words carried badges and guns that could pull us over and were licensed to blow our brains out. From Compton PD, Suge had Captain Reggie Wright Sr., Reggie Wright Jr., and Sergeant Reynolds. From LAPD's scandalous Rampart Division, he had Rafael Perez and David Mack, both of whom were Suge's homeboys. Blood N-words. Almost all of them have been in the newspapers for being rogue cops and connected to Suge. What most people don't know is that they were putting hits down for that N-word. Over the years, they bumped off a few of our people. I have strong reasons to believe my buddy FL was one of their victims. I'm lucky to be alive. Even though the beef between our two factions quieted down, the funk wasn't over. Retaliation from the other side was a necessity. It was just a matter of who they were going to go after. They chose Bad Boy. An eye for an eye is the next chapter. How are we doing on time? Doing pretty good. Yeah. Did he hide the pew-pews in his prison purse? I don't think the guys have prison purses. I thought only girls. It's, the pocketbook. It's a pocketbook. So the police are cultures of rappers. Got that one. Auntie M, thank you for sharing Venom's link. Yeah. Maud says, look at Canton. Yeah. Guess we could talk about this. An eye for an eye. But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Holy Bible. Really? New International Version, Exodus 21:23 through 24. Minimum of 17 minutes available. I think it took me, 30 minutes to get through that chapter? Okay. The night before Biggie got killed, me and two of my homies, Bubble Up and Uchi, went to the House of Blues on Sunset Boulevard to see our Southside homie Davey Wavy, who was Mac 10's manager. That night, we were having a posthumous album release party for Eazy-E, who passed away the year before. Met Eazy-E once. It's memorable. Davey Wavy was up in the VIP section and screamed down when he saw us, "Yo, Keefy D, your boy Puffy up here." We went up to the VIP section and saw Snoop Dogg, Willie McGinnis, and Little Blue. They were all from the 20s or Insanes down in Long Beach. Biggie and Puffy had come into town to promote Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy came over, we greeted each other, and he said, "What's up, dog?" "Just chilling." There were too many people inside to talk, and we had a lot we needed to talk about. Puffy told me to meet him the next night at a party where they were having at the Peterson Automotive Museum. So he went to a Diddy party? I don't know. Once the House of Blues party was over, my homies Bubble Up and Uchi and I were sitting in front of the venue in a rental car, curb serving, trying to get some bitches. I was sitting in the passenger seat and Uchi was in the back. There that N-word Puffy go right there, one of the homies observed. Who's that he's walking with? Is that Vivica Fox? Yeah, that's her. If it wasn't, it must have been her identical twin. They were all walking out of the House of Blues together. I yelled out, "What's up, homie?" Puffy turned his head in our direction to see who was calling, and when he saw it was me, he strolled over to the car and came up to the window. Puffy's eyes got wide, and his heart had to be racing when he got to the car and saw all three of us sitting in the car with some high-powered straps in our laps. We were strapping up because our hood was at war with each other. It had gotten dangerous in our hood. 5 of the homies had already lost their lives. You could hit the corner and die. It was that thick. Baby Lane had a bullet stuck in his head and got shot with AK between both knees during that internal neighborhood feud. It hurt me to see us going against each other like that. Puffy was unaware of all the drama that was going on in our neighborhood, so was visibly shaken by our menacing presence. Puffy still hadn't paid us any money, so it's probable he thought the straps we were carrying were for him, but they weren't. We had them for our own protection. I know. I love Snoop and Martha together. They make me happy. The Diddy parties, how had his hands in it. All that baby. Baby leaving his fingerprints everywhere. Oh, goodness. Puffy bent down at the car window and shared the activities he had planned for the next couple of days. Man, tomorrow afternoon we're giving a basketball game, Cal State, Dominguez Hills. I already told you about the party tomorrow night. We're giving at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Then we're going to have a picnic at Spelling's daddy's house the following day. Y'all need to come through. When he finished, he nervously backed up out of there. He didn't pay attention to the beautiful women he walked out with. He wisely made sure to keep an extremely watchful eye on us. The next day, a few of us showed up to the basketball game at Cal State Dominguez. Puffy was up there with Missy Elliott. I ran into Corrupt and Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound, and Snoop Dogg was also there. The only one that was acting like he was super crip was to F with us was Daz. Daz? When I went to federal prison, Daz made a song that had subliminal messages in it that I didn't like. As luck would have it, my boy Bubble Up and I ran into the N-word in Compton at one of my homies' weed spots not long after I got out of the feds. N-word, you know who we are. No, he responded. N-word, I'm Keefy D from Southside, N-word. His eyes lit up like silver dollars. He was ready to shit his pants. Or pull a macchiato. What's all that you're talking? N-word, you a rapper? You get your ass beat the F up, hurt real bad talking shit, stupid ass. Man, I was just brainwashed by Suge. That's where I was eating. N-word, you were eating with the wrong people, bitch. Oh, no. He was scared to death, shaking like Don Knotts. I could look into his eyes and tell he wasn't hard. Another case of rapper who wasn't really about that life, claiming it like he was. After the basketball game, we arranged to meet Zip at the bar next to the rooftop pool of the Hyatt Hotel on Sunset Boulevard. When we arrived, Zip was already up there with Keyshawn Johnson, the wide receiver for the New York Jets. We met them at the hotel, got fresh, then headed out to the Peterson Museum. Got fresh. There was about 15 Southsiders in the party that night, having us some fun. Puffy and Biggie were there, both sitting on thrones and wearing black bebop hats, surrounded by buckets of bottles. They were doing it big by then. We had been in the party for about 15 minutes when my phone rang. What's up? It was my people from Grape Street. What up, big dog? We down here out front trying to get in. How many of you got with you? Hold up. There's 9 of us. Hold tight. Let me see what I can do. I told one of the bad boy bodyguards we needed 9 more tickets, but he was only able to get us 6. When the 6 dudes from Grape Street came in, one of them came over and told me, them blood N-words are out there. They deep? I asked. Not as deep as us. I decided to go back outside to see if I could get the 3 other dudes from Grape Street who were still waiting outside. When I got down there, just like the homies stated, I saw DJ Quick. Yes, got dressed up, exactly, Auntie M. Theo, the Asian on-air radio personality that used to work for the radio station, The Beat, and they were out there with all 8 other blood N-words that I recognized. Somebody must have told Puffy that we were in the building because he came over to where we were and whispered, man, the FBI is in the building. They've been following me ever since I've been out here. I don't want y'all catching my heat, so stand down. There was no way I was going to talk to him about anything serious after he told me that. Oh, no, really? Puffy handed me 2 bottles of Dom P and 1 bottle of Cristal and said, y'all have a good time. As Puffy started to turn and walk away, I motioned for Puffy to come in close and told him, y'all be careful, them blood N-words are in here. In particular, there were 2 broads from Death Row that were inside the party that should not have been in there. Their only purpose in that party was to set Puffy and Biggie up. I saw it coming, but the bad boy crew couldn't see it. Puffy told me that the FBI had been following them around, so I guess he thought they were going to be protected by them MFers. After Puffy gave us the bottles, we went to one of the corners of the room and threw our own little party. Once we started burning that Cali weed, people began gravitating over to where we were. Janet Jackson, Aliyah, all kinds of people came over to where we were because they could smell that weed. Ricky Bell from Belle Biv DeVoe followed us around the whole night like he was from Southside. He had a ball that night. Every superstar football player you can name was in that effer. It was the baddest party I've ever been in my life, and we were up in there looking fly.
Okay.
People couldn't look at us and tell we were Crips because we didn't dress like stereotypical thugs. I would buy expensive suits, crocodile shoes, all kinds of fly shit. I mean, fly to New York to have dinner, and on my way back to LA, stop in Cleveland to check my money. Those black credit cards that celebrities carry, cut off after you spend too much money. I know from hanging out with Eazy-E, his shit used to get cut off. Meanwhile, I would have 30 to 40K cash in my pockets. My shit wasn't cutting off. I'd have 2 to 3 million sitting at home in the closet. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, our crew used to be on the Sunset Strip having a ball damn near every night for 10 years straight. Life on the Strip was popping. The club scene, the Comedy Store, the Century Club on Sunday night, Paradise on Thursday, Britney Spears and them would be up in some of them spots. I believe that if the Kardashian sisters, Kim, Courtney, and Khloe, and Paris Hilton and them were on the Sunset Strip back in the day when we were balling, them bitches would have been with us because we know how to ball. You know, I like it some good ball talk. Bitches love gangsters. In fact, they're addicted. I'm not talking about gangbangers. I'm talking about gangsters. That girl is poison. Yes. Lurking. I got to cook dinner. You can cook dinner. You can cook dinner. I would drink Remy Martin, XO in the daytime and Louis VIII, which back then was $1,300 a bottle a night. I had a connect that would bring me cases of it at a discount. I remember one day my wife drunk up my Louis and put some VSOP in the bottle. You're supposed to drink Louis VIII warm, so I poured a little out and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds so it would go down nice and smooth. After I warmed it up and started drinking it with my pinky out, she said, "N-word, you drinking VSOP." One thing I never did get involved with was trying to supply none of them celebrities that used to be on the strip partying. You go to jail real quick effing with them. That sunset shit would get your ass hot with the feds. They'd be up in those clubs. Plus, I was bigger than that. I was selling kilos. I didn't even touch shit. I'd go to the negotiations at the breakfast table, but I'd never touch the shit once the negotiations were done. I'd wait on the money to come in. You couldn't even talk to me because my crew had me protected. Before long, the fire marshals came and closed the MF down because we were too many people inside. The valet started bringing people with their cars. I forgot what he was talking about. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? They were still at the party. This guy goes down some... I was so distracted. Anyway, the valet started bringing people their cars. We were still standing there waiting for our vehicles, and Biggie came up first. He saw us and rolled down his window. "Man, we be at the Beverly Hilton. Y'all come up there with some of that California weed, big dog." Biggie was a cool brother, and he liked smoking that California orange weed. Then Puff came up. We gave each other dap, and he said, "What's a dap?" Okay. And he said, "Don't forget, tomorrow we're giving that barbecue at Aaron Spelling's house on Doheny Drive." Biggie pulled off first, then Puff pulled off right behind them and made a right turn, banging a right. About 3 or 4 minutes later, somebody came running back in our direction, screaming, "They shot Biggie! They shot Biggie!" I didn't hear any shots because we were under the parking structure. Then my boy Uchi came running back up in there. "Yo, they just smoked Biggie." "What?" "Yeah, they just killed Biggie." Fuck. The fuck. Biggie was dead 10 minutes later. Officers from LAPD came and started escorting people out of there. Not long after Biggie's killing, rumors started swirling that Southside had killed Biggie. That's when Puffy began distancing himself from us. He was likely scared to death, thinking we were going to go after him next. Man, this guy. What a piece of work. Remy was $9.99. Okay, gotcha. Gangbangers like Britney Spears. I bet Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown hung out with them, and look what happened to them exactly. Aaron Spelling. Yeah. What effery is this? Is the 8? The 8 is from 1226, and I wouldn't drink that. Okay, that. Oh, Louis VIII. Yeah, I not familiar, but it sounds delightful. Anywho, well, I hope you guys enjoyed story time this afternoon. We can pick it back up again later. I think that I'm trying to get Attorney Ben Bateman to join me possibly Thursday to stream about the case, the trial that's coming up, QPD's trial in Las Vegas. He is an attorney out there. His claim to fame is he also represented Dan Bongino, and if you don't know who that is, look it up. It's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, this guy makes a mockery out of court, and it's hilarious. But Ben tried to control him for a little while, I guess, or wrangle him as best one could. So that should be fun. Hoping to do that soon, and then got a couple of other collaborations on the horizon, so be on the lookout. I do hope to stream a couple of more times this week, so I should be around, usually midday. And I am going to redirect you fine folks over to Tug, because I kind of have the feeling that this is a Tug-friendly chat. So let me see here. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thanks for reminding me, Auntie M. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please make sure you have. If you're on the replay crew, hey, replay crew. Thanks for sticking it out this long. Appreciate you. Oh, bye, Maud. See you later. It was really fun. Definitely great content, and chat was having fun too. Well, good. All right. So I'm going to shoot you guys over to Tug. Let me see here. Add a redirect. All right. Looks like he's probably going live right now. If you could, let him know we said hello from my chat, and I'll probably see you in chat over there shortly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Thank you, Auntie M, for holding down the fort, and Faves, pop it in when you could, and Benham. Love the mods. Congratulations to all the recipients of the donated memberships. You guys are awesome. See you in the tube. Hit the like, make a comment.
Buy the merch.
Buy the damn merch.